Well, if you recall in the last Firebird video, got the headlights not really working. There's no bulbs, but there's power there. We got the tail lights working. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nick. You're watching Olsen Auto, and this is my Project 79 Firebird. It's been the project for quite a while now on the channel. We finally got some body harness stuff going. Parked it in the woods, of course, but the tail lights are on. Everything's, on and hooked up. I was told that when I went to drive it a day or two ago, my brake lights didn't seem to come on. Now, the brake lights on this car aren't particularly bright. They come with a factory smoked housing, so you're not going to see them very well anyway. But then I checked for myself at night, and I didn't see any brake lights. So we're going to be fixing that today. Hopefully it's just a broken fuse. We're probably going to work on some more of this car as well. There's still so much to do before this car is even remotely considered road ready. Power steering, alignment, there's no rear end fluid as far as I know, which is suboptimal at best. Hopefully the mud that's packed into the rear end is solving problems or helping. We're gonna try that and see if we're getting any power back here, and we are. Well, that is not the result I expected. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna start this thing up. If it starts, pull it into the driveway and see what we can't fix. All right, this is a moment of truth right here. If it's gonna start. That sounds promising. You can usually tell by the tone of the fuel pump. Yeah. But you guys can see all the smoke, and I'm parked in the woods, so it's all coming back into the cab of the car now. Suboptimal. That seems to be the word of the day, I guess. This car doesn't have power steering. So moving it, especially one-handed while filming, is very difficult. All right, camera's going here. Oh boy. All right, so we have lights. Listen to that chop real quick. Moment of silence. All right, so we have tail lights, but no brake lights. And of course, this interior dome light is not working. Let's see if we can't get all of that fixed. This car needs an interior, but that's not today's concern. Got a fuse box under there. Let's grab the test light and see what's wrong. That light right there is what lets me know that we have, if I push that button, why isn't it flashing? That light is my indicator that my brake lights should be working. It's all plugged into the same harness, so it's actually a pretty good indicator. I dropped the column because I think it's actually the brake switch, so you can see it up in there. I'm going to pull it out. So I'm going to clean up these terminals and on the plug side as well. Make sure everything's all good in there. Maybe that'll fix it. So the brake lights are technically on because I have the little plunger thing. The actual switch is cleaned out. I used some electric parts cleaner, of course. And right now, this is as if the brakes were fully pushed in. And then that's, when you push it in, that's like the pedal coming back up. So off, on, seems to work. So that's good. I am going to check out the fuse and clean out the fuse holder just to make sure that's not causing any problems either. But oddly enough, now my blinkers don't work when, or my hazards don't work when the column is down. Couldn't tell you why. That's a mystery. All right, I'm going to set you guys down on the ground. You're going to let me know if everything is working properly because I, can't see it. So let me know. I mean, that either worked or it didn't. I don't know. Something interesting is happening in the front end of this car. I don't know when that headlight bulb started working, but it does. I don't know why. That headlight bulb has never worked before, but I guess we have one headlight, which means she's good to go for the nighttime drive. Well, in the last clip, I believe we're fixing the taillights for the second time now in this car. We should be good with that, but this is the moment, one of the many moments, I should say, that I've been dreading with this car. Of course, I redid the whole front end, right? Engine, transmission, frame, all the bushings, everything. I haven't touched the rear end. Like literally no shocks, no springs, no fluid, and that's what I'm getting at. Here we have some 80 weight 90 gear oil. I think this calls for 75.90 or something. I don't know. Gear oil is gear oil. I have no clue what's in this car. I don't know if there even is any oil in the rear end. We are going to find out. Gonna jack the car up, drain out what's in there, pop the cover off. I have new gasket maker, I have new fluid, so this should be a pretty exciting and either wildly amazing or disappointing moment, which is pretty much how this entire car has been going. I'm very curious to see what's behind that cover again. I don't think this car has been on the road since like 92 or, you know, early 90s. So, and even then, it's probably still OEM fluid from 79. So this could either be a nice built rear end or it's gonna be like the stock 276s that most of these came with. You know, one wheel peel machines. So gonna jack it up, pop that cover off and see what we got for fluid and put some new stuff in and turn a blind eye to any other issues because it's gonna get a rear end at some point. I just need this one to last like a few thousand miles. Let's go ahead, get a drain pan and start breaking these free, see if any of them want to actually break free. The fill plug, I wanted to make sure I could get it out before I went and pulled the cover off. You can see it's actually dripping fluid, like there's oil there. My concern is it's motor oil. Like I'm 99% sure that's not rear end fluid, which is okay. I mean, it's better than what I thought I would see, but I'm pretty confident that's motor oil, which is not what you're supposed to run in a rear end. So I'm just gonna let this keep dripping out, but I'm gonna start popping off these cover bolts. Are all 1/2 inch, clean them up a little bit and then pop them off, see what's behind the cover. Wildly impressive. I am in shock. So the trick that I've been told is to back these ones on the bottom off so that the cover doesn't drop and hit the ground. Mostly so it doesn't land in the drain pan or splatter anything everywhere. So we're gonna leave those like that. Gonna see if we can just, oh my God, that worked. I didn't think that would work. I did that as a joke. Oh my God, it looks somewhat acceptable. All right, let's go under here. Let's take a decent look at what this rear end actually looks like. I'm gonna give you guys the first look. Truly don't know what I'm looking at. I know there are gears in here and they look way better than I expected them to. So you guys tell me if this looks good or bad. But I mean, the fluid that's coming out is existent, which is better than I expected. Yeah, I'll let the experts in the comments tell me if this is good or bad. Impulsively deciding that painting this cover is gonna be cool, so I'm either gonna go red or black, not sure, just something simple to make it look a little decent. Of course, we're gonna use SuperClean. They do sponsor the channel, and I'm hoping we can renew that sponsorship. SuperClean, if you're seeing this, for the 2023 season. We're gonna use it, gonna clean it up. As you can see, I've been going at it with just a flathead to get some of the thicker 3-dimensional off. Gonna use this and let it sit for a few minutes, and then of course some traditional brake clean to clean it all up. Hit it with the wire wheel and lay some paint down. I'm also gonna alcohol it so everything is as good as it can be. Hopefully the paint dries while I clean out the rear end, put it all together. I did get some proper gear oil gasket maker. This stuff takes about 24 hours to dry before you can refill it, so we'll wait the 24 hours. Want to make this proper because I thought the rear end was trashed. It looks decent upon first glance, so going to treat it as well as I can, make sure there's no leaks. Gonna paint this up. Did notice it looks like someone's pried it up here before, but if I lay the gasket stuff right, it shouldn't be a problem. So let's go ahead. Let's throw some SuperClean on this. You do have to be careful to make sure you get all of the SuperClean off before you go to paint, because otherwise this stuff messes with the paint quite a bit. So I usually use brake clean and alcohol to get everything off. I'm just gonna cake it and let that sit, and we will give that a minute or two, and then I'm gonna hit it with a wire wheel, a brush, flathead, get all the grease off, and then brake clean it. Have some gray engine enamel. Diff cover looks pretty decent. SuperClean did an awesome job. There's like a line of grease here, so I got it pretty dang clean. Gonna hit it with this gray engine enamel. The paint's cold, the cover's cold, it's cold out, still a little greasy, but it's pretty clean, so we're just gonna see if any of this sticks. All right, so that engine enamel is dry enough to work with. I'm going to use my Permatex gear oil gasket maker. We are going to put the cover back on the car, not gonna run, drive it or anything. Of course, until it's sat for 24 hours and we put fluid in it. So I'm probably gonna let this sit for quite a while. The next video, guys, the next video is gonna be pretty damn cool. I already know what's gonna be happening. You guys don't. and you won't know until the video comes out. So make sure you guys subscribe so that you can actually watch that video and hit the notification bell so you know when it comes out. It's not something I expected to do. It was impulsive, but you guys will enjoy it. Anywho, this is dry. It looks pretty good actually. The SuperClean did an amazing job. Obviously, I can't do much about the rough metal, but the SuperClean cleaned it up. The paint stuck very well, so going to go ahead, lay some stuff on this. There was something else I was supposed to do. Oh yes, clean the hardware. Let's do that. Thankfully, this stuff takes a while to dry because it also takes a while to go on. I think that's right. And yes, I'm going to anti-seize these bolts. Well, it is hopefully the last day of this video. The car's been sitting for quite a while with the diff cover fluid, no fluid, diff cover and the gasket maker on it. Gasket maker should be dry. It's been like 72 hours. So we are going to attempt to put fluid in this. Hopefully it stays in the rear end where it's supposed to. And then I gotta move this because the next video is, how should I say it, going to be destructive, might be a good term for it. I don't know. We'll figure that out in the future. But I got some things I gotta do today. So with some haste, I have to put fluid in this car, which is always the worst part of any rear end or transmission job. So without further ado, let's put some fluid in this and see that it actually works. Not sure if I mentioned it at all, but looking at the gears and doing some research, this is a 273 open diff, open trash, 273, also pretty trash. So hopefully we'll be swapping this gear set out for either an entire new rear end or some 373s or something a little bit better than a 273 because I want acceleration and a 273 is not going to give me that. So, got some of this 8890 gear oil. I believe this rear end takes 2.3 quarts. So I have that, and then some extra over there. Got this little pump rigged up to it. Gonna take out the 3/8 fill plug, which I already know comes out. Okay, so after probably 35-40 minutes of using this little pumper here, got the rear end full of fluid. Doesn't seem to be initially pouring, so I'm calling that a mission success. Of course, down the line, if I did it wrong, it will start to leak, but I'm running late, so I gotta start the next video. Gotta go pick up some Fox body parts. You guys heard that right. Next video is gonna be a Fox body video, and it's not really something I planned on making, but it's gonna be pretty sweet. So if you guys do wanna watch that, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm gonna end this video here. I'm running late, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We got the brake lights fixed for the second time, and we got the rear end fluid changed after 30 plus years of never having it done, so that's an awesome accomplishment. Fluid didn't look too bad that came out, but now we know we got some good stuff in there, so that is awesome. I do want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Told my brothers one day we gon' make it. We just gotta grind for that paycheck. Mama told me one day I'll be famous. Remember when she used to say she hate this? That ended with life when I say shit. Now I'm inside all them people's playlists. So one day I'll be stomping.